Radio. You know how we do on here with Snow tapping in. About to touch base and talk about some Juneteenth. Got the 36th annual Freedom Festival popping off right here in Ogden at the Amphitheater. August. What? No, June 14th on a Saturday. It's gonna be up.
You got to explain to everybody who don't know who you is.
So Nick Fonseca, aka Menace. I am one of the many members of Results and Receipts Entertainment, R&R Entertainment. We are a regional-based entertainment company based across the West Coast, working to just try to blow some artists up and make some noise in the music entertainment industry.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So you out here helping artists, getting shows and all that stuff. And this is what got me on your line. I seen what you was doing, kind of like what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? And so now we together working on Juneteenth. And, you know, of course, as I spoke with Miss Betty the other day, I don't know if you watched it or not, we talked to her about how she snatched people off that stage, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And we both had an experience last year. We ain't trying to experience no more. Not because it's something we totally disagree with, but it's Juneteenth, right?
Right.
So we got to keep it in the right format. So, and we wanted to do this, so I basically want to do this so everybody will know, with both of us sitting here, what it is, right? When it comes to Juneteenth, we got to keep the content for the artists for Juneteenth. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every artist, you know what I mean, and you know, I might be wrong or whatnot, but I feel like you got to know your audience. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're being hired to do or what you're participating in. You know what I mean? What kind of performance are you doing? You got to be diverse and be able to do any type of performance you're booked for, right?
Exactly.
If you see it's a family atmosphere, you got all ages, kids looking up to you. I just feel like me personally, I'm going to pick and select my type of songs that are going to meet and fit that type of criteria. You know what I mean? I know I have as an artist, I would have a large catalog of all kinds of songs. It could be street music all the way down to love songs.
Exactly.
And I'm going to use those songs that, you know, represent what the Juneteenth Festival is about, freedom. You know, and that's why me and Snow have worked vigorously with Project Success, Miss Betty, and the entire committee to ensure that artists do have that freedom of speech, right?
Exactly.
So we've never said saying the S word or hell or, you know.
Yeah, we don't think you bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, you know.
We agree with you sometimes.
Right, you know what I mean? But it's all within common sense, I would say. To me, it comes down to common sense. You know, a lot of people say, hey, everyone thinks different, but
you just scared me. Look, y'all. Look,
use your discretion.
Man, they done learned me.
You know what I mean?
Now check this out.
Discretion, you know what I mean? But
criteria. I
right.
like that word you use.
Another thing is too is if you have a hit single that just happens to be that type of song where you know you want to perform it, but it may have a little bit of cursing, may say the N word, may say the B word. Instead of saying B, why can't you say chick? Right? Instead of saying F, why can't you say? You know what I mean? There's always if you practice and rehearse yourself.
Yeah, you ain't gotta say I'm gonna help you. See, I'm the one that's gonna say raw. Instead of saying bitch, say chick.
I mean, and if I rehearse enough. And I'm over
and
at
you
iBang
know your music.
I know my own music, and I'm at iBang every day utilizing the rehearsal opportunities.
No, oh yeah,
that are right up the street from the
iBang
venue.
is open for rehearsal. Everybody participating in in Juneteenth. No excuses. You got here to rehearse, and we got everything you need.
So,
and this is coming from an artist. You was an artist too, right?
I was an artist at a point too.
Still are, right? Your music still out there?
Still creating. My album's still out there, you know what I mean?
So this is coming from an artist himself, right? I'm not considered an artist, right? But this is why I started this, to help look out for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all ain't being taken advantage of. So like you said earlier, y'all got this freedom of speech thing going on, cool, but it's a time and a place.
And a time and a place. I mean,
and I explain that word criteria because you know a lot of us, our vocabulary is not, you know what I mean? Criteria. What you mean when you say criteria?
So I'm just saying, I would say one thing that me and you both agreed last year was everything in context, right? So if you end up slipping and saying the N word, but it's not a derogatory and it's more of in a positive way, me and my was out on the block or whatever, that may not be as derogatory.
And she approved a few. She approved at the stove. She approved at the stove.
Yeah,
Miss Betty.
Yeah, so a lot of songs are gonna, we're not trying to limit anybody or anything like that. One thing that we did notice last year that was very concerning was like, you know, when artists are addressing the crowd, not even in their songs, but just coming out, hey, how's my crowd going? Hey, everybody, you know, whatever. Can I get a heck yeah? Whatever. We're getting like, where my bees at? Like screaming right into the mic. Like, where's my bee? You know, like, come on. Like
blowing my email and phone
crowd,
up.
Yeah, like when you're addressing the crowd, that's got to be the part where it should be clean, right? How y'all doing tonight? Y'all feeling good? Let me hear y'all say yeah. You know, basic stuff. Coming out, what the fuck? You know, while everybody's, hey, let me get y'all attention. And then just drop curse word after curse word with it. Literally not even in the song. Just shows a lack of like being in control, being overexcited, and really not having that experience. And this is why me and Snow work so hard with the committee and everybody, so you guys can have these experiences, get this have these opportunities.
Yeah, because the world we come from, we go back and forth between some of the same artists, and we deal with mostly artists from the hood, right?
Yeah, different types.
Exactly. Now we both work with all different, but you know,
right?
What we mostly known for the hood, the hip hop, right? And like he was saying about this criteria, when Miss Betty set forth the rules, like I told her myself, that's all it is. It's the rules that we want you to follow. So, like Nick said, we can have a Juneteenth that's appropriate for the context of what's going on. Like one of the major things last year was a young lady with the outfit and the shaking, right?
Right.
Guess what, y'all? All the elders out there, they want to dance too. Miss Betty was in here dancing. Said she used to win dance contests. But you don't have to wear such revealing outfits, right?
Right. I agree. I mean, you know, we're in a time, it's tough because we're in a time you can't shame anybody's clothes or,
exactly.
You know, and so I'm not going to say anything, but I would just say, me personally, just remember this is something that's going to be archived. This is something that your whole community is going to look at for years to come.
Your children.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, and always think of like how you want to be represented and seen in the future, and how would you like your legacy to be, right? Mm-hmm. And once again, it just comes back to knowing your audience. That type of stuff is all good at the late night after party.
And they said we gonna have one,
right? Or we could have a pre-party. But when we're in front of the entire community, we got senators, we've got you know, different type of political mayors. High-level sponsorships.
Your children.
Things like that. People that are contributing to make this thing all possible. We just need to, and I get it. Like a lot of kids, I'm not going to lie, we were at some festival stuff.
Yes.
And we were taking stuff from kids' requests, and the kids had worse requests than anybody. They was asking.
I told her that.
They was asking for all the mess. So, I mean, I get it. Kids have been raised on this stuff, and their parents let them listen to what they want, but what we can't do is force our beliefs and our parenting or whatever we believe in on others, and we got to keep it for the public and general audience, right?
Now, I actually addressed that with Miss Betty because I asked her, I said, okay, you know, those 13, 14, 15, and 16-year-olds, especially the older ones, when they leave your presence, they're still talking crazy.
And I'm talking even little kids.
Exactly.
I'm talking even 5-year-old, 4-year-old.
Running around with
like,
these poles.
Sexy red, please. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
the teachers are teaching them this stuff. So how do we reconcile allowing the kids to do what they do without demonizing them? And she said basically what you said, you know, of course she said it in the Miss Betty way. Right. But basically what you said is, you know, the criteria is a time and a place, you know? And so we want you to turn up and wild out. But the problem is, for me, I can't speak for Nick per se, right? But the problem is for me is we're missing out on, and I'm going to be brutally honest, some of the hottest artists we really fuck with. We mess with some really, really hot artists. And all we begging y'all to do is just doctor your music up a little bit.
I mean, that's it. And
so we can present.
I think a big problem.
Exactly.
One thing that we've recognized too is, and it's sad, and we want to encourage all artists to start working on this. Before you leave the studio, get your stem files. Repeat. Get your stem files. You
have your show disc ready.
You should already have your file, your hit single that you paid so much money to record in a high-end studio. You done got a feature.
Promoting it.
You got a rollout for it. You got it mastered, and you leave the studio and you have an MP3.
Them fussed us out about for it because they wanted on the flyers.
Right. And you have an MP3 file that cannot be broken down. You can't take out your backup vocals. You can't do anything with that. If the guy that featured on the album is not performing the song, you almost can't even perform it now because his verse is in the middle and you can't edit it. Get your stem files and be able to take out your vocals. Like, I get it. it's 2025. I may be old school, but why are artists performing over the entire track? We're trying to hear you rap.
Wait, because we in a TikTok world now, and they don't have to memorize nothing. They just got to come up with the next catchy phrase.
But still, it'd be great. What happened to the old great days with just ad-libs?
I know you have some of your shit memorized.
Right. Like
I know T-Lo got his shit memorized.
You gotta have your stuff memorized, and no one wants to just hear you rap a few bars and then we're listening to the song over audio. If that was the case, we would have just listened to it in the car. It would have sounded great to drive and just smoke and do what we do in the car. We're coming to see a live performance. We want to see this guy rapping bars, not lip syncing and then cutting out, and his music's in the back doing it all for him, and then he's jumping in every once in a while because he barely. Another thing, why do artists get booked and they want to record a new song to perform? Why? You haven't practiced it. You don't even know how to perform it. You have a show tomorrow and you want to. Oh, my bad, brother.
You're acting like me. I thought it was gonna be
my bad. Stick to what you know. Go with your hits. You've already done this. You already know what the crowd's finna respond to. You already gotten the positive feedback. You got some didn't hit, some hit. You done did 6 shows already. Exactly. You know what songs hit. Those should be the songs you're doing back to back to back, and leave it and go. 6 to 10 minute sets. Leave the crowd wanting more. Too many people doing 20-minute sets, and we're up there looking around like.
Wait, now check this out. Now you know I done got butchered for this.
Okay.
How I like to do them 3-minute sets.
Okay.
I got so butchered for that.
Okay.
But you just spoke to why.
Right. I see your theory. And I get it. That's a fine balance. I see your theory. I see where the
even your homies, I'm sorry, don't want to see you up there for 20 minutes. Not because they don't like your music. It's that TikTok world.
We got bored.
So we going to have the sets short. And for the better ones, you'll get an extra set. I want to give out awards from now on. What you think?
That'd be great. I think that anytime you could reward somebody.
Exactly. Not just no monetary reward. And we're going to be charging this year, right? So we want to set up an award system. Set up our thing just like you. Go back to the old days from all y'all stuff. The pioneers who've been here doing this. Give them an award. First thing come to my mind is Dub Records. We need to be giving Tanaka and T-Lo and Phantom and Chris and Gus and all these people an award. To me, they were the forerunners in hip-hop around here.
Amen.
Right? Yes. So let's start giving out some awards for the best song. Me and Miss Betty talked about the Elder's Choice. They want to give something for, say, yeah, this is the one we pick. Our demographic pick a best one, and then the kids pick a best one.
Great idea.
And if you get an extra one, if you happen to hit all 3.
Yeah, I mean, in the day and age, nobody getting flowers until they passed, and artists could be killing it for years. And just in a world of negativity where all you're going to hear is negative stuff, and point out everything you do wrong, it would be great to reward anybody for doing something positive. So
exactly.
I definitely think that's a great idea. Back to I know you mentioned something about paying. As you guys know, every year we're trying to up the level. We're trying to bring bigger and better artists to Ogden, Utah for the community to enjoy and to try to get, people bigger looks and bring fans that will travel from Idaho and Wyoming and come all the way from Salt Lake and all different
production.
Areas.
We want a good enough production to make y'all look like stars.
Amen.
Because to us, y'all are. Why do you think we keep calling you to book you?
Shout out to Snow last year. He upped the production level probably to Juneteenth history on his own.
We all do it together.
I got to give credits to credit due. We was talking about it. You know what I mean? People don't want to give flowers. I got to say he really stepped in and took the bull by the horns last year. Got past all the BS and all that stuff and just made sure that you guys had a beautiful stage with beautiful lights and banners and everything of that nature. And we want to keep repeating that and taking it even higher. We would love to get pyro. We would love to get, like industrial fog machines. We'd love to have integrated backward drops. Machines. And we would love to take this, me and Snow, this is what we love, right? This is our passion. And along with his team and my team, we love that type of stuff. So we want to keep taking it further and upping it in every year. So it's requiring this year is that we are going to be charging a $5 fee to get in for anybody that's 13 and under is going to be free. So, 12 and under is free. 13 and up is $5, and then there's a $20 pass for families that have multiple people, and it makes more sense just to go ahead and buy a family pass.
Because some people want to come out to see their kids perform and everything.
Exactly.
and this really happened last winter jam. Someone called and said, Mr. Snow, my grandmother really wants to see me, but we have all the kids with us. So and it made me think about it then. I was like, yeah, we need to do that. The little kids. Free.
And like I said, we're not pushing anybody out. It's a community event. So if
no, we ain't got to shoot because we're trying to make it better.
Better, yeah. But anyways, like I said, we're never going to turn anybody away. But like I said, it is something that we're all hoping that everybody can band together. So next year,
absolutely,
we have some revenue to start with, and we can get on the bookings of the main acts and the headlines early. We can start paying the local acts even more. Things of that nature.
That's what we need to do.
So one thing that we are asking from all artists is to tap in. One thing we want is artists to have skin in the game. Too often, we want everybody
Y'all
to
expect too much from us.
Or not even that, just we want everybody to market, promote, push this as if it is your local Juneteenth festival, 36-year running. This is your city. Like, this is your state. Like,
this is your, like you said earlier, you've been spending all your money, time, effort, I here running, doing these shows. Me and him got y'all running crazy. We even try to overlap y'all sometime. Then take the time to take this opportunity to see and broaden your horizons as far as your fan base.
Amen. And tap into your
And that's real money. Miss Betty even said, hey, y'all present that stuff right. Man, she's in here dancing to y'all music.
Amen.
She want to invite y'all to some parties. But like she said, she don't want to pay to get cussed out.
Right. But what we say is, one thing I've noticed is, people are so worried about social media. I need this many followers, all this stuff. But really does, you can have 1 million followers. I think we've had somebody with over 100,000 followers, millions of impressions on TikTok, and you book them and you pay them a set fee, and they have 10 fans show up to an event.
Exactly.
And it's supposed to be their biggest market, and they have demographics and all this stuff to prove it, right? But so what we're saying is, but then we have these other guys that have 300 fans, but bring 50 or 300
Watch this.
Instagram
I'm going to tell you
followers,
something amazing.
But have 50, 70 fans that actually show up. Why? Because they actually interact personally, organic people, community, like actually community.
And for me and you, I'm going to take up for me and him on this one. Man, you know how much we got to go through to get some of these artists out here, the type of risk we got to go through, the type of stress we got to go through. And I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm going to speak to what's real. Y'all are a bigger draw than some of these people we bringing out.
Right.
T-Lo can bring more people than the Loonies. It's just a real talk. We brought several people out, and we love these people. We respect them, but here's the brutal reality. I've done some local shows that we've done better than we did with Pastor, and I love Pastor, but that's the brutal reality. I think just even you on your name and a few local artists, I've seen you do it, you've seen me do it.
Right.
And we actually get better numbers than when we book these artists.
Biggest artists.
So y'all got people here that believe in y'all. And everybody know we don't get along. We sit here talking for y'all. Right?
I get along with him. Don't let him lie.
Right? But you know what I'm saying? Outside perspectives, right?
Right.
We getting along for y'all, and we want to do business. So when you want to do business, you stick to criteria. Like he was talking about. It's going to help you get that money, which is what business is about.
Right. One thing we've always encouraged is let's just be honest. Think about it. If you're an artist and you say, I want to get to the level where I'm getting paid a guarantee fee to perform, right? That's everyone's
Show me you can bring 200 people. You got it every time.
No promoter is ever going to be mad of paying an artist when they know that they're going to recoup the money that they put and then probably make a little bit on the top, right? To cover promotion, marketing, whatever, right? If you can't even bring how could you say you want $500 to perform a 10-minute set, 10 minutes of your time? Think about a normal job, how much you get paid to do a normal job.
You'd be lucky to get $15 an hour.
Right, I'm just saying, how hard you got to work to make $100 in a normal working
Bust your
community,
butt.
right? So now here you are doing a 10-minute set of music that you love to do. You've already recorded it and you memorize it. You do this in the shower, and you can't tap into 10 grassroots fans that really support you. And
I thought I was the only one that seen it that way.
But yet you want to be paid $500 to get. Ticket sales are only $10 though. So, but you have 5 fans there. How is that making sense to someone, right? So that's why we've always encouraged fans, the artists to really build a fan base, collect your data, because that's only going to build your value, right? If you go to anybody and say, yeah, my last 3 concerts, I had 300 people that came for me, and the tickets were $20 a piece, I generated 6 racks, who's going to be mad at paying you $1,000?
Yes.
2 G, you know what? Here's 2. I'm not even mad, right?
Even Miss Betty said that it's like she want to see y'all get to the money. And you can get to more money by broadening your horizons. I'm a straight street dude. Everybody knows that. And I'm telling y'all, our lifestyle, our culture is literally the pinky in my fingernail compared to both of our whole bodies.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Our demographic is this big. So if that's all we're appealing to is our demographic, that's all the money you're going to get.
Right. Makes sense, yeah. Right. Makes sense.
And they love us. They love the little gangster vibe. They love hearing our music. Even Miss Betty a bob to it.
Well, yeah, it is.
They don't want to go nowhere and get shot.
Nobody does. We all seen it. Vegas used to have a ban on hip-hop, period, right? We all know that. And now they have. Now
is that why they got the Fremont like that? They don't have no hip-hop on Fremont?
No,
they literally banned it?
At one time, you couldn't even do any hip-hop. Any venue couldn't do hip-hop in Vegas at all because it was...
Except for Dre's.
Yeah, Dre's, because it was after hours on the strip inside the casino and all that. But they wouldn't even just...
Wow.
They were treating big stars like they were dirt, though. You had to be somebody to even get treated. Like, if you
yeah,
were
they all headliners.
Mid-level West Coast, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Like, oh, get in the bag. You ain't got the dress code on, homie. Like,
damn, you just told me something. I didn't realize they had that. Because I just noticed being there. I'm like, God damn, for this to be Vegas, man, y'all ain't got no love for the urban culture.
But like you said, we're going to have all kinds of after parties this weekend. We're trying to turn this. One thing that I love that Snow did, he took it on himself as well last year and sparked off the Friday for the big launch day rather than just waiting until Saturday to get things going. So there we go. On Friday, there should be some pre-parties. There's going to be ways for you guys to perform.
And y'all know we're going to have the after hours bumping that Ibang.
Right. So it's going to be all the way up. So we're really excited about this year. I don't know if anybody had mentioned it yet. But we are excited that we are going to be bringing Lambeau Faux. You know.
Oh, so they told me.
Yeah. So
they told me he canceled.
No. So there was a different.
It pulled through.
Yeah. So there was a different artist that we were working with. We were trying to get locked in. Did fall through, but we were excited to get Lambeau Faux, who has Self-Esteem, huge single that was on TikTok, certified platinum. A lot of the younger crowd. One thing we're focusing on this year is the youth. Last year, we were kind of more towards the older crowd with Jay Holiday. Saw that, most of the people that came out and enjoyed everything were more of the younger crowd and didn't know much about Jay Holiday. So we really wanted to focus on the youth and TikTok hits and, people that had certified hits that were,
Ooh, we might need to do that for Friday night. The top 3 artists are the ones that come on right before him.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have, this is another one that we just rolling out and going to have Coolio the Underdog. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Mac Dre's legendary producer and DJ. He's going to be sliding through. I know Snow always got some heat up his sleeve.
Yeah, I've been looking at somebody. Man, I got to find somebody R&B for Miss Betty.
Yeah, so, and as far as some of the acts that we are excited that we have locked in, we're so excited to get Kimmy. We've talked to Zay Baby, Rude Boy Kid, Posy 109, Pinky, Mother F Red.
Yes, y'all already know who y'all is.
So we got Ogden well representative. We got
and you spoke on Friday, right? Before I forget, he did speak on Friday, even like last year. He's like, man, let some of these artists get on Friday, right? So this Friday, this Juneteenth, from now on, man, we want to do this like a real showcase all of our talents from our community, from art to comedy to music, to all of that. We have a whole day, right? So maybe we can sit down, sit with Miss Betty and Mr. Seth, and we want to come up with sections for each time period. So every demographic, as much as, creators we can get together, whether it be from art, and for me and you, that'd be good too, because now we see other things we can promote. We can see the best comedians, all the best artists, all of that. And I think that would really turn up Friday and have it like a down, showing up home, fish fry, get together like family.
Definitely a great way to launch the festival, get it started on a good time. You know, it gets all the sound right, gets everything out there already. I think it's a great idea, and we definitely want everybody to try to participate on that. So just be stay in tune and stay in touch with that for sure.
And remember, when y'all give us ideas, we are not miracle workers. We're not. We're not miracle workers. Nick can only do so much. Mr. Snow can only do so much. And like he said, if you don't even have your stuff memorized and got your stems, please stay out our face being so picky.
Yeah, so just
can y'all believe I've been so nice?
No, but one thing we do we truly do appreciate all the artists.
Excuse me.
And all the acts that do contribute and, you know, donate their skills and talents to the committee to put on stage and have some entertainment for everybody. You know, we truly do appreciate that. And that's why we have gone to this ticketing process as well. So this gives an opportunity for artists to be able to make money on the festival and keep the money as well. So a portion of the ticket sales that are made and done are going to be used for the artist compensation fund and for artists to get paid. So,
and that's another thing too. Like how we do over at Ibang, I've been talking to Miss Betty about it. If possible, we're gonna set up per system the same way that we do over Ibang, so each individual artist can see who's making the ticket sales. Right. And that's one of the ways we can give out the awards too. We have a lot of people that say they have fans. Well, what happens when your fans are also somebody else's fans? Who do they pick? Right?
That's tough. Yeah.
So that's another thing that I kind of like what we do over at Ibang. We try to make sure that each artist has, documentation of how many ticket sales they have. And it also helps y'all when y'all go into business, right? A lot of people don't understand. I keep telling all you artists, get a Square. So now when we pay you out through Square, even with this building, my home, my cars, I use my Square transcripts for my income statement.
Yeah, it's nice. It's beautiful. Square is an amazing thing to get for anybody that wants to just receive money. You know what I mean? Who doesn't want to be able to swipe a debit card for any type of service? And if you're an independent artist, that is your business, right? You need to receive ways to take money. So
and it don't have to be Square, but some type of monetization system where you can track all your monetization.
For sure. And so one thing we've always done too is just to feel Eventbrite allows you to create ticket links, and then it gives you an affiliate link for each individual promoter or artist. And there's always an open book policy on that. So at the end of every event, you just open up that Eventbrite, show all the sales, and just pay out that way. So we've always had that open book policy and a way to track. And like you said, an artist can easily just say, "Hey, send me your money. Send me the money via Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, Apple Pay."
Track that.
Yeah, and then once they send that to you, we just have their name sitting at the door on a will call list, and that'll go towards you as well. So I mean, there's always a way, and with Snow and I, with all the years of experience, we've already ironed out all those little issues that
we know that digital shit means something.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why we're called Results. Our company is Results and Receipts, so we're really big on not only gathering receipts from anybody that we work with, but also providing receipts for artists as well, so they can use that as leverage to be able to go empower themselves.
Get you a car. Quit running around here talking about you ain't got no whip, you ain't got no credit. You have those transcripts. You go get you a car.
Right, amen.
Start building your credit. Bank might see what you're doing. Like right now, they offer me loans all the time through Square. So imagine all these artists that we're booking all the time. If every time we got them, it's going to their Square. Now these people are gonna be trying to get you to get some money so you can help foster your craft.
Yeah, that's true. We use those all the time. So
and even Cash App do it. Cash App, you get enough going through Cash App, they'll offer you some money. Use that to help your career. Yeah,
one thing I would say too, I would love to see from every artist and anybody is like, I get it. It's tough to sell tickets. I get it. It's tough to really get a hold of your fans and make sure, connect with your fans and ensure they're going to be there. But one thing I would love to see is artists doing creative things to get attention. Create a video
instead
drop.
Of drama.
Create a video drop. Put your link in there. Do a post. Do some different content. Creative, funny content. leading up to the event early and often.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Positive
let it
stuff.
pick up steam. Let it start getting viral and let people see it now. You should have a post, repost, tags, collaborations, reels, stories.
Absolutely.
And that's just Instagram. I mean, you should be on Snap. You should be on X. You should be on Threads.
And I'm so
Facebook.
glad you touched on that. They don't understand
Facebook
that.
Group, making your own. Why not just make your own event page for Facebook and invite all your friends to your performance? Now, if we had 30 artists with 30 event pages up with all their friends invited, how many people would know about Juneteenth?
How many of them got it?
All 30 artists had the top amount of collaborators, 5 collaborators each on each post, and then 18 tags on each one. Every artist.
Don't say I said it.
Every artist was posting at 7, 12, and 5 every day on their story leading up to the concert.
And some of y'all, why is this old man doing more Instagram than y'all?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, I get it. You don't want to have too much on your tile. You only want a few. You don't want people to see you only got 10 hearts when you should be getting 100 hearts, whatever.
Yeah.
You got to get out there, promote, market yourself. The bigger, as businessmen and promoters and entertainers, whatever, we love to see what y'all can do to what everybody's doing to collaborate.
And I ain't gonna
lie,
because we see ooh wee, that boy can make some money.
Hey, right there. And
we want to go out and find somewhere for you to go, boy. They gonna like you.
If everyone's reels leading up to there is 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views from now until Juneteenth, I think a lot of people are gonna show up. You're gonna have a bigger audience. You're gonna probably make more money.
I go to Vegas all the time, and I'm always playing y'all music, right? There's never been a time that I went to Vegas and people haven't asked me, man, what is that? That's ibangradio.com. And I don't care whether it's here, even the old folks when we over here, everybody know Miss Vanita be over here, they be jamming out to y'all. Jamming out. Y'all never know because y'all don't even listen to your own stuff. But I'm telling you, everywhere I play y'all stuff, no one has ever told me that they don't like what they hear on ibangradio.com, and it's nothing but y'all.
Yeah, talent. Utah has nothing but talent, and all the artists that are going to be coming around. And keep in mind, as Juneteenth keeps growing, and the word gets out across the region,
people want to come here.
Denver artists, we've already been hit up by 30, 40 artists from Denver.
Yes.
We've been hit up by Tucson and Mesa.
Boise.
We've been hit up by Boise. We've been hit up by Cali.
Yes.
We've been hit up by Vegas. And, Snow and I are like,
Vegas, and we both be in Vegas.
Yeah, we in Vegas. So we know tons and tons of artists that see this as a huge opportunity.
Exactly.
They're going to bring the best of their records. They're going to promote every day to be on something like this.
I don't think some artists don't view it as an opportunity. Can you speak to that? Why is that?
I get it. I mean, I want to play angel's advocate, if you will, right? Like, I get it. It's like, hey, I'm an artist. It's not my job to promote. I did my job by recording great music. I did my job by getting my outfit together. I did my job by showing up on time. I did my job by being at sound check. I get it. I get what the perspective is, right? I get that point of view.
They did a lot of work to get there.
Right. And it's like, okay, well, you're the promoter. Here's the talent. You need to do better marketing the talent and getting people interested in coming to see the talent, right?
Exactly.
That's your job as the marketer and promoter, right? Mm-hmm. It's not my job, right? But I think it's everyone's job, right? Everything is everyone's job, right?
Because we believe in you and we see the talent, we can't make nobody else know who you are.
Right.
If, like you said it earlier, and I've always said, if we can't put your name on a flyer and know that 200 people are going to show up, we're the ones taking the risk. It's no longer opportunity for us. That has to come out of our pocket.
Right. And so, yeah, like we said, with us, I would just say is, we're going to do our very best and push us just like we would like to push you guys. We are open for feedback. We stay up night and
always
we work
open.
hard, and so.
But please let it make sense.
There is a marketing budget, so we always make sure, Miss Betty makes sure that the festival always gets television time, so multiple times on national television, news, it'll be promoted.
We was there at the news, remember last year?
Right.
Now watch this. And this ain't to point out nobody or nothing but reality. He showed up. We both brought an artist to the news thing. And we're not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. They enjoyed both artists, but it's only one that they offered festivals to. He got two festivals that he do now. Nico
sung it down, killed it.
Now why?
Because he did the right song, right professional, carried himself.
But who was they dancing to more?
Probably the Goaters. They was dancing to Goaters.
Going nuts, right?
Right.
Who did they offer the money to?
I don't know. I didn't hear.
Nico. No, well, that's what I mean by the festivals. That's money. They paid him for that. He already did them. He's gonna do them again this year. They paid him for that. That ties into what Miss Betty was saying to y'all. We know that when y'all come out and we go to the clubs we like, man, we want to see y'all turn up. But there's other avenues of money out there for you if you're just willing to conform a little bit.
Hey, I remember the DJs that we've brought out every year. Every DJ that we've booked every year, because they do conform. You know, they would love to play the unedited songs all day long, right? They would love to play their favorite jams, right? But no, they have to edit their playlist so that it's a community event and play music that the fans want to hear. If they have, right? And what happens?
Exactly.
They get booked every year for birthday parties. Somebody comes up to them, oh, baby, you was spitting crazy. Oh, you was playing all the best jams. I need you at my graduation party. And they're making $500-$700 for one DJ gig from the being shown off at the festival, using the festival as a platform to show what they can do and then get booked for other things as well.
Exactly.
Right? So, I mean, that's what I would be on. I'd be on having my merch booth
and
up.
that's why I say it's an opportunity for y'all, right?
Right.
Because, like I say, man, everybody that hears, especially certain artists that we know we like and love and fuck with tough, right? We don't really fuck with no bums, you know what I'm saying? And these artists are so prolific in their talent, but they don't even realize, like, your music is not getting to the right people because you won't perform in front of the right people. You have to go to these different festivals. You have to go to these different amphitheaters. You have to go to some of these graduations. But if all you're doing is waiting for the club on Friday and Saturday night, when the real urban crowd is turning up, you're limiting your sources of income.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I've even had artists, like I'll have an artist, certain ones that have do so well, and I'll be like, hey, can we match you up and put you on a show with this other person that does so great? And I've had artists be like, no, that one doesn't even, that artist is great, but it doesn't match my brand. I don't want my fans.
That part.
That was kind of crazy. I was like, what? That guy's awesome. He does great music. They're like, but that's not the vibe that we bring off. That's not what we're doing, right? So I was like, dang, I respected that, right? Sure enough, their next show sold out, right? Because they know where their audience is going to go, right? And where they're going to, and where to take them, you know, and where to pull up. So
and we had a good example on that too with Miss Betty. I will play her a song, and I played her a couple of artists that we know that these are good people. They ain't no troublemakers or nothing. But the context and the language. And then I played, you know, some straight gangster stuff, and even somebody I know straight gangster. And now listen to this song. She was like, okay, that passes.
Right.
So it's all about the content and how you're presenting it.
Exactly. And just
that simple.
How crazy it is. You know what I'm saying? I said, like,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, some of it is crazy.
Yeah, some might be just crazy.
Even though I like it.
Yeah, some songs it may not be for that one.
I would turn it down if I was like pulled up beside, you know, a car full of, you know, nuns or something. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, we're so excited about this festival this year.
Yes.
It's gonna be so turned up. It's gonna be so
and remember
fun,
that
safe.
I like that what you just said, right? Now I know Miss Betty getting mad at me and you because you just like she was telling me the time. This ain't the concerts and stuff y'all be doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is a festival of freedom.
Amen.
And that's how we should be trying to make it, like it's a festival, a 3-day festival. Amen. Wow. Let's go. Yeah. UCIBG, IBangRadio.com, Mr. Snow.
And it's your boy Nick, a.k.a. Bennis, from R&R Entertainment, and we out.
You didn't shout your music out.
Nah, I'm not shouting no music out.
What? Now, you just gave all that good advice.
Yeah. No, it's been a long time since I've done music, so I'm not artist.
You can find them under Menace?
Menace. You can check me out.
How you did you spell it crazy?
No.
You spelled it regular?
MENACE was my name. But, you know, this is before streaming, brother. Like, you know what I mean? Cut it out.
Go find his ass on YouTube.
Yeah, cut it out, y'all.
All right.
Hey, we in there.
We gonna holler at y'all. Peace. Let me find this right button so before I get to talking crazy. Y'all don't know me. I might say something. Medication time. I'm just saying, y'all. Peace.